I'm Mandy, and this is my journey to self-discovery. I'm 41, spent 20 years in corporate, the past 7 years as an entrepreneur, and have 4 businesses. I've spent my whole life highly driven by success and achievements. Now I'm putting it all on hold while I tackle my biggest life questions. Why am I here on this planet? What am I here to do? What's my life's purpose? What's in it for me? This is me without the mask, slowly shedding the old self in pursuit of my real self. So I'm back and talking about the signs and synchronicities of the universe. And what has happened over the last couple of days is just amazing. And so I wanted to share with you what those signs can look like. So last Wednesday, I had been invited a couple of months prior to become a mentor to some students who were going through an MBA program. And so I agreed to it a couple of months ago, but last Wednesday there was a reception for the students. And I really didn't want to go. I kind of was starting to just regret that I had even signed up for it. But I went, and on the way down, which was about 2 hours away to the event, I saw a bald eagle. And I was driving down the road, didn't have a chance to stop and really check it out, but I saw a bald eagle. And it was really kind of the first one I've seen, and I don't know, I've probably only seen one other time in my whole life. So that was it. So I moved on, met with a couple people before the reception, went to the reception. It was great, had a chance to really connect with some other people, and that was it. I felt really good. It was a very high vibration day. I was really glad that I ended up going and getting out there. So that was last Wednesday. On Saturday, I got down this path of learning about some things and just getting down this path of meditation. I have had signs of meditation come up in a number of things, in a lot of teachings that I'm hearing. Even my husband has recommended it, and I often find that he is a voice. For me, he has no resistance. So I feel like oftentimes the things that kind of come through him are great messages for me. And so he's been saying for a while that I needed to really kind of deep dive into meditation. So that was Saturday. And so I started to really submerge myself in the learning of meditation. Didn't practice it, and I've done it a couple of times, but not very good. I can't really shut this mind down. On Monday, then, I did start my first meditation. And I started to do this deep breathing. It's called holotropic breathing, I believe. And it's where you're extending your stomach as you're breathing in, and then, kind of releasing all the air from your stomach as you're breathing out. And so I did that, and my goal was 15 minutes, and continues to be my goal of that meditation. But what happened during that meditation was the craziest thing I've ever experienced. As I was getting into the breathing and I kept the breathing going, I started to feel tingling. I was feeling tingling in my face, feeling tingling in my mouth, and I was giggling about it because I kept thinking about that song, I Can't Feel My Face, when I'm with you. And oddly enough, I heard that song, the day after. But I kept thinking about that song and I was giggling about it, and I just felt that tingling all over, almost in my mouth, as if there was something a message of some sort that I had. And then as I kept breathing, I felt then it went to my fingertips, and my fingers and my arms just started to get almost like the feeling like you're falling asleep, like when your fingers or when your feet fall asleep, but it wasn't like the pringly feel. It was just like this amazing, feeling of just so much like life. It was a strange energy feeling, but it stayed in my hands for a long time. I didn't feel anything throughout my body, but then as it got to my knees, I started to feel it really big again, and it got to my knees and it stayed there for a while, and then it came back up and it hit my hands again, and then it started to go back up to my mouth and my face, and about then is when I cut it off. But during that time, though, I was starting to get some, I don't know if I would say it was conversations, but I was just having this talk with myself about, this is it, this is the time, we are going to, what I have heard recently of lighting up the grid. We're going to light up the grid, all these ideas. It's time to go. It's time to play big. It is time for us to do it. And I just felt so supercharged, as if I were invincible during that meditation time. And again, I have no idea if this is normal or not, because I've never done meditation, and nor have I done yoga or anything like that. So it's very strange, but I just have not done that. So that was Monday. And then, so Tuesday, which was yesterday, Tuesday, I was out and about, and as I was driving home, I saw another bald eagle. Two bald eagles in the course of a week. And I think that was the universe's way of saying, okay, you saw it the first time, but you missed the message. So I did what I normally do, and I went home and I researched what does it mean to see a bald eagle, and I got exactly the guidance. It couldn't have been more timely advice, and it just basically says that get ready. I mean, this is a time for you to be strong. These are your messages from spirit or what have you, but this is the message that it is time for you to be strong. The bald eagles are extremely efficient in what they do, extremely efficient in their hunting, and it was just this great timely message that it's time. It's time to be bold. It's time to be courageous. Anything that I have, any self-limitations that I feel, it's time to put them behind me. And so that was yesterday. And then within an hour of getting home, I had a call. And it was a call from a rather local phone number, but I picked it up and I answered it. And it was from this gentleman. And he was calling because he is going through the MBA program that I just attended the reception for last Wednesday. And he called me up and he said, I wasn't able to attend that reception. He said, but I heard about you from someone who was there, and I'm working with a business that has farm to table, and they kind of have like a bed and breakfast type feel. But he said, I'm working with this business and trying to see how we can drive even more traffic to that business and that retreat place. And I almost, like, I could just feel it in my stomach, like, holy cow, are you serious? And because that's what I've been wanting to create. And while I've been wanting to create my own retreat, sometimes it's just time to go. It's just time to go. And the rest of the details will fill itself in. So that was kind of like the holy crap moment that this just happened. Like, it's go time. It's time to do this. And so that was it within one day of that meditation where I had that crazy, strange feeling. And then it's just the wildest part is that all of this stuff is just starting to come, and I'm putting zero effort into it. And that's the law of the universe. The universe finds the most efficient way to accomplish things. They take the path of least resistance, So now I have a place for a retreat, which is fantastic. I also, yesterday, I was just gradually just kind of perusing through Facebook, not really putting a whole lot of thought and effort into it, but I came across a Facebook ad about a group that is creating kind of transformational retreats, and a Facebook group that goes along with that. And so I had a chance to deep dive into that a little bit and to see kind of how others are creating retreats, what that looks like, and locations for retreats. All of that was just coming, and again, there was no effort at all involved. It's just everything was just coming. And so that is the universe working, the path of least resistance. So right now, here's what's next. I'm starting to explore some other feelings that I've had. Some are rather new feelings, some are a little bit older. But one thing that has come to mind that I've been thinking about, or has come to mind in the last couple of months, are the Akashic Records, which I know this sounds so crazy, but the Akashic Records are also called the Book of Life. And that is, kind of, think about it like the universe's supercomputer. It stores everything, all past, all present, all, potential future. It is all there. And that came up to me a couple of months ago, and I was interested in it, but I didn't really take it anywhere. It's come up a couple of more times, and last week, in a group that I'm in, someone, as a part of this group, said, hey, I'm going into the Akashic Records, which would be, I assume, more of like a spiritual kind of meditative state, perhaps. They're accessible to anyone who could get to that, who is at that level. I'm certainly not there yet, but she said, I'm going into the Akashic Records. Would anybody like for me to pull out, a card that might be appropriate with where they're at? And so, strangely enough, I can't even believe that I did that, but I was like, yes, I'd love that. So she sent the card, and the card was the card reference to be strong. And it was, and so I read the card, but then I put it away. And so but yet it came up. So after yesterday and kind of just exploring and just kind of putting some of the pieces together of what's happened in all these synchronicities, I felt very strongly that it was time to kind of pull that back out and look into that Akashic Records again. And I'm curious because this all is manifesting so fast. I mean, I feel like this is a whole new beginning. There is so much, but I still have a block. I still have a block that I'm working on. And it is a money block. It is an abundance block. And I am working really, really hard on this. Perhaps that's the problem. Maybe there's so much force and effort that's why. But there is a resistance there. And so I'm going to go into the Akashic Records to see what's going on and to learn a little bit more about this and to release it. Because it's time to release it once and for all so that I can start this next chapter. So I reached out to the person that kindly provided that, that card last week and said, just whenever you have time in the next couple of weeks, I would love to explore, a session with you. And we arranged it for tomorrow. How timely. So I'll be sure to record that so you can see what that whole experience is like. I have to prepare 10 questions that will, to ask while she's in the Akashic Record. So I have to spend the rest of the day kind of thinking about that. But that is one really, really cool thing. And I just feel like that might be the way that the universe is just saying, okay, it's time. We got to clear this out because you are getting ready to fly. And we got to figure out, we got to put that behind us. So that's one thing. And then the other thing that has been coming to me too is just I was starting to create what a retreat place would look like. And I realized that as a part of the law of attraction, sometimes we get too specific and we make things too hard. And so I was trying to think about what if I creating that retreat and what it might look like and all the pieces and elements that I would like to have in a retreat. But instead I have felt more that, and in doing that, I feel a little bit of resistance. Just simply because then it feels like, oh wow, how's it all going to happen? So what I've been feeling so much more inspired to do is just to create what a day would look like. So if I'm holding retreats for those who are, just wanting to maybe find their purpose, who feel a bit lost, and just wanting to just reconnect with their higher self, what would that look like? So right now I'm working on creating just what a day in that agenda would look like. And strangely enough, as the universe would have it, I connected with a gentleman yesterday who had mentioned that he was creating programs similar in nature for those in the corporate world, which is something that I have, obviously been teetering with as a part of this too. But I look forward to I think that will be a chance to get to collaborate. But it just goes to show that when you really get in line and you start listening to those messages that you're getting from your higher self and from the universe, it takes zero effort. There has been no effort. It has just been open to receive everything that is coming this way and just be open to exploring and just and have so much fun in doing that. So those are a couple of things that I'm working on right now. And it's truly the most amazing experience. And this is open for all of us. I mean, this is what life is. This is our higher self communicating with us, the universe working its magic, and it should be this fun and exciting. I just likened it to creating starring in your own action adventure movie. You're the star, but you haven't seen the script yet. So it's full of adventure, it's full of action. You know how it ends. It always ends in a great way, right? But sometimes we just don't exactly know how it's all going to unfold. And we're just kind of going as we go. And so that's where I'm at right now, just absolutely having a blast. And I can't wait to report back after this Akashic Record session that I have tomorrow. So I'll be back again soon.